Photoshop is a professional editing software developed by Adobe systems used to make photos. In fact, all those who deal with computer graphics, in some way they need this software. Today, Photoshop is the most popular software among users that supports all kinds of layers, filters, brushes, texts, 3D objects, videos, and etc. Graphically, Photoshop has been completely optimized so that users can easily work with it. Also, very beautiful and new brushes and effects have been added to the new version. In the new version, you can animate 3D files and animation files. Now we're going to talk about the color mode. Color mode. RGB, that its function is according to the light rules for monitor. CMYK, that its function is according to the function of the ink rules for painting. Grayscale, black, white, and gray. Bitmap, black and white. Lab, brightness. It means that a spectrum between red to green or a spectrum between red to blue. So let's talk about the toolbox. Toolbox overview. In the first part, we will introduce the toolbox. When you enter the Photoshop, you can see it on the left. Number 1. Move tool. One of the most widely used tools in Photoshop for moving, copying, and etc. Rectangular mark tool, used to create a square or rectangle. If we hold down the Shift key while dragging, the selection can be done in a square shape. Elliptical mark tool, used to create a vertical or horizontal circle or oval. Single row mark tool, to select a horizontal line from the pixel of an image. Single column mark tool, to select a vertical line from the pixels of one image. Lasso tool, used to select an area of the image. Polygonal lasso tool, used to select an area of the image, and only in case of broken lines the selection operation can be performed. Magnetic lasso tool, to select the area according to the color difference between the two areas. Magic wand tool, which is known as a magic wand. With this tool, you can, with the selection of a pixel from a color, select all colors close to this range. Crop tool. With the crop tool, you can easily select a part of the photo you want and delete the rest of the photo. A slice tool. To place a photo on the website, at first, you should place it in the desired section. And when you want to save the image for the web, each part will be a separate file. Eyedropper tool. With this tool, you can choose your own color from other images and use it. Color sample tool. With this tool, you can click anywhere. A color palette appears from the image and you can drag the color percentage of each part of the image. See the mouse on that part in different color modes in terms of X and Y axis. Ruler tool. With this tool, you can measure the distance between 2 points. Node tool. When you are working as a team and the next team wants to continue working in the next hours, you can write notes to guide and continue the work. Healing brush tool for retouching pictures. Patch tool, With this tool, you can select part of an image and replace the selected part with another part. Red eye. As the name implies, we use it to change the red color of the eyes with digital camera. Clone stamp tool. You can sample any part by holding down the Alt key and use it in other part. Pattern stamp tool is almost the same as the clone stamp tool, with this difference that you can also use textures that are in Photoshop by default. Eraser tool, used to erase desired part of images. Background eraser tool. Use this tool by clicking on any part of image and dragging the deleted image. The checkered and glass mode appears below it. Magic Eraser tool. This tool erases parts that are almost identical in color. Blur tool, used to blur and blur parts of the image. Sharpen tool. We use it to sharpen the desired part. Smudge tool. This tool works like when you paint on a canvas and then draw your finger on the canvas. Dodge tool. We can use it to brighten dark areas of the image. Burn tool. We use it to darken your favorite parts according to the color used in the image. The sponge tool, as shown in the image, acts like a sponge and creates a white state on your work. Brush tool, another of the most used tools. The brush is a brush that By selecting and changing its setting, you can make your desired design like a pencil paint. Pencil tool works like a brush tool. Color replacement tool. By using this tool, you can spill color of a part on one another image. History brush tool. With this tool, and by clicking it on any time, it returns the changes you made to the previous state. Art history brush tool. By using this tool and its design, you can make artistic photos by dragging this pen on your image. Gradient tool. This tool used to create a spectrum or multiple color spectra on your image. Paint bucket tool. Use this tool to pour paint on the selected canvas or area. Pen tool is a tool for drawing free lines and drawing lines around an area. Freeform pen tool. This tool does almost the same as the pen tool. Moves freely by moving mouse to any side you want. Encore paint tool add. As the name implies, after drawing a line, you can add points for more accuracy. Delete Encore point tool. Works in contrast to the Encore point tool. Convert point tool. After drawing lines with this tool, you can focus on accuracy of the edges and creation of the curvature. Horizontal type tool. This tool is used for typing text. Rectangle tool. We use it to make rectangle as shown from its shape. Rounded rectangle tool. Used to create rectangles and squares with soft or rounded corners. Ellipse tool. With this tool, you can draw all kinds of circles or ovals. Polygon tool. Used to draw polygons of different sizes. Line tool. Used to draw smooth lines. Custom shape tool. By this tool, you can choose different shapes and use them in design. Hand tool. Used to move the image. Set foreground color. Set foreground color. To select the foreground color, you can select the color you want by clicking on the color palette and opening the color wizard. Set background color. To select the background color, you can select the color you want by clicking on the color palette and opening the color wizard. Are going to design a visit card or a banner, as you know, should be aware how to use the ruler tool. Well, I will not take your time any further and introduce the ruler tool. Number 1. Open Photoshop and create a page with the desired dimensions. Number 2. Enter the dimensions of the new pages as desired and click the OK button. Number 3. Select the rectangle tool and draw 3 squares. Number 4. You can select the ruler tool from the toolbar at the top of the view page, or you can find it by Ctrl+R key. After activating the ruler tool, you can use this tool in several ways. The first method is to move the mouse on the vertical and horizontal lines that are marked with the red box in the image above. Drag and place the desired line image anywhere. The second method is when you know the exact size of your box like a business card but you want to drag the side of the 5mm box inwards. You must select the new guide option from the view. Very well. In the open page, just specify the size and direction of the line to draw your lines. Repeat the line once vertically and once horizontally, 5mm. Now just align one of the squares drawn in the first step from the right or left with the other squares. Take a little red square near the two squares and you will see that it looks like a magnet. In Photoshop, the ruler tool can be of great help to designers who want accurate measurement. Select the ruler tool as shown below. Say apply, mark each point of the drawn box with lines to the exact size of the bar, specify the tool above the tool. Selecting tools in Photoshop Part 1. There are different ways to select a part of the image. The reason for providing different selection tools is using different methods to select the image. Selection tools in Photoshop give you ability to select all part of or even a single pixel of the image. Make it selection tools in Photoshop shown below. Select rectangular and oval ranges. Marquee tools is shown as a rectangular or oval in the figure below. Some tools have a small black arrow in the lower right corner. To see their subsets, hold the left key of the mouse or right-click on them. Click the rectangular marquee tool or type the short key letter M. Then drag on the desired area. Hold the rectangular marquee tool until the tools are visible. Then click on the elliptical marquee tool and to select the area, drag the mouse, which is like a plus sign, to the desired location. To select an area as a square or circle shape, should hold down the Shift key when you are dragging by a rectangular or ellipse selection tool. The following figure shows the selected area of ovals, circles, and squares. Whenever you select one of the tools from the toolbar under the main menu, in setting bar, for the same tool is activated. If you want to select another range while using the selection tool, first it exits the selection mode. To be able to go to another area after selecting the first area, at the selected area. From the option toolbar, you can click on Add to Selection as shown below. Click or hold down the Shift key during the next selection. In the figure below, the two selected areas are grouped together. To be able to select a range within another range or two selection ranges, you can click on the Abstract from Selection toolbar at the top of the option page. The short key for this mode is the Alt key, and finally to select the field. The subscriber of two selected areas of the option bar clicked intersect with selection. Feather determines from the options bar a scatter around the selection area in moving or copying to another location. If the feather is 0, the selection border is quite sharp. But if it has a value, there will be no clear boundaries for the selection area. To understand the subject, pay attention to the following figure. In the figure below, First feeder is set to value like 30, and for the better understanding with the paint tool inside, we have selected the selected box. Then another area with feeder equal to 0 has been selected with the tool and we have painted. Pay attention to the edges and the dispersion of the paint. Another option in the option bar is phrase anti-aliased, which is active in the ellipse selection mode. Selecting this option makes the selection border of an ellipse or circle smooth when you are zooming and not a mosaic. Finally, a drop-down list with 3 options in front of the style phrase in option bar can be shown. Normal. By selecting this option, you can select the area in any size freely. Fixed aspect ratio. Selecting this option activates the width and height box. In front of them, length and width can be specified. After this operation, select the area with only this size be possible. Quick sized. By selecting this option, specific values can be determined in terms of pixel units for the length and width of the selected area. The horizontal and vertical narrow selection tools select a row of pixels horizontally or vertically. These tools are used to clean up the edges of shapes. The important thing to remember is that when you work with selected area, you can only edit the inside of the selected area. In other words, the selection area. It is only active range in the canvas. In order to move on another task, you must first deselect the selected range. For this, you must select another area from the option toolbar in new selection mode, or double-click inside the selection area, or press Ctrl+D. Selection tools in Photoshop. Part 2. Lasso selection tool. As you mentioned in the first part, we use marquee tools to select a regular area. Sometimes there are cases when you want to select an irregular area. For example, you want to select a person from anything in an image. For this purpose, we can use other tools. There are 3 types of lasso tools as you can see in the picture above, which are normal lasso, polygonal lasso, and magnetic lasso. We will explain method of each of them. Number 1. Normal lasso selection tool. To select a range using lasso tools, proceed as follows. At first, click the lasso tool from the toolbox or type the letter L. Number 2. Place the lasso tool on the part of the image you want to select. Then keep the left key of mouse down and drag it carefully in the right direction. And after that, you will see a continued line. Number 3. When you have completely dragged the desired area, you can release the mouse button, and this will automatically connect the 2 ends of the line you create the desired area. And now you will be in the selected mode. The polygonal lasso tool. We're going to use it to select the desired area in polygonal form. To use it, just click in the desired places. By doing this, points will be formed, and smooth lines are drawn between these points. To use the polygonal lasso tool, proceed as follows. Number 1. Click on the lasso tool from the toolbox and look down with the left mouse button. You have to open the relevant menu. Number 2. Select the polygonal lasso tool. And then number 3, using this tool, click a point on the image and in the desired place. Now the mouse draw around the desired area. In this case, a straight line will be drawn. To change direction, you can select and click the left mouse button to create a point. Number 4. To complete the selection, you can double-click the left mouse button. With this, the start is attached to the end of the point and the polygonal area is selected. Attention! When you are near the starting point, a small circle will be added to the cursor, and it means that if you click the mouse, the selection process will be determined. Number 3. Magnetic Lasso Tool. This tool detects the border of the colors and points these borders automatically. To select the desired area using this tool, proceed as follows. Number 1. Click on the lasso tool from the toolbox and hold down the left mouse button to open the relevant menu. Number 2. Select the magnetic lasso tool. Number 3. Click a point on the image and in the desired place. Now, the mouse draws colors around the desired area and on the border. In this case, the points automatically will be on the border. To add points, you can also click yourself, and to modify one, you can press the delete key on the keyboard at the wrongly selected point. Number 4. When you have completely navigated the desired area with the mouse, you can press the key to complete the selection. Double-click the left side of the mouse. With this, the starting point is attached to the end of the last point, and the desired area becomes selected. In the option bar related to the magnetic lasso tool, in addition to the previously explained items, there are also the following items. Pay attention to the figure below. To determine the detection width, you can enter the size in pixels against width. To determine the sensitivity to the edges in the image, you can enter a number between 1% and 100% in front of the edge contrast. A high value identifies edges that have obvious differences with other colors. To determine the punctuation speed duration selection, you can enter a number between 0 up to the 100. Type in front of the frequency box. Try on images that have distinct edges. Consider the contrast value of width and edge to be low. To change the lasso pointer to a state that shows the width, turn on the caps lock keys. پایان بخش اول. Selection tools in Photoshop. Part 2. Lasso selection tool. As you mentioned in the first part, we use marquee tools to select a regular area. Sometimes there are cases when you want to select an irregular area. For example, you want to select a person from anything in an image. For this purpose, we can use other tools. There are 3 types of lasso tools, as you can see in the picture above, which are normal lasso, polygonal lasso, and magnetic lasso. Selection tools in Photoshop, Part 3. Magic Wand Selection Tool. Magic Wand tool is another selection tool. Magic Wand tool, based on color values, select an area. In other words, the Magic Wand tool selects pixels that have the same color. Tolerance in the option bar shows the level of accuracy. Please note that the smaller the value set in the tolerance box, the smaller fluctuations the Magic Wand tool will be in separating the colors. The higher the number from 0 to 200 chooses for tolerance. Colors that have a huge difference will be selected at the same time. To select areas that have the same color and are next to each other, you should use the contiguous option. Otherwise, all pixels that have the same color and are in different parts of the image will be selected. To select color information from all layers, select the Sample All Layer option. Otherwise, use the Magic Wand tool. It will only use the active layer when selecting. Examining the Select menu so far, you have worked with the selection tools in the toolbox. In addition to selection tools, there is also a menu called the Select menu. The options related to selection in this menu are as follows. All will make the entire image selected. The short key is Ctrl+A. Deselect. Deselect the selected area. Its short key is Ctrl+D. Reselect. If an area is selected and we deselected it by selecting this option, that area will be selected again. Inverse. This option causes the area that was in the selection mode to be out of the selection mode, and the rest of the areas will be selected. All layer. All layers are selected. After clicking on this option, it is enough to look the layer palette. Deselect layer. Removes layers from the selection mode. Similar layer. Selects similar layers. Grow option. This option is selected from all around the area, and based on the Magic Wand system and according to the tolerance set in the Magic Wand option, the selected area begins to expand. Similar option. This option makes all areas in the image that are the same color as the currently selected point to be selected. Save selection option. When using lasso tools or even other tools carefully and taking the time to select a part of the image and do editing on that area and then select another area and perform another operation, now again you want to return to the previously selected area. In this case, one way is to save the area that in these cases you can load the previous area again in the selection mode. After clicking on the Save Selection option, a dialog box will appear. In Name section, you can type the desired name for the selected area and click the OK button. You will understand concept of channel after reading other items such as channel and Add to Channel options. If you have previously saved a selected area in the list, in addition to New option, the drop-down menu in front of the channel will also show the name of your other storages. If you select one of the previously saved names, the options in the Operation section will be activated, which has the function as follows. New channel. This option causes the selected area to be placed in the new channel. Add to channel. The new selection is added to the previous selection and saved in the previous channel. Subtract from channel. The newly selected area will be subtracted from the previously selected area in the selected channel. Intersect with channel. By selecting this option, only the common part between new and previously selected area will be saved in your channel. To activate previously saved selection, you should use a Load Selection option from the Select menu. By clicking on Dialog Box 1, these options appear. From the Document drop-down list, choose the file name, and from the Channel drop-down list, choose the channel name. Selecting Invert will invert the selected area. In other words, the selected area is out of the selection mode and other areas are in the selection mode. Color range option from the selected menu. This option is one of the powerful tools to select a part of that image that is the same in terms of color. By selecting this option will appear dialog box as below. With the positive dropper sign, a color can be selected from the preview box. If the dropper is positive, by choosing other colors, these colors will also be added to the previously selected colors. And if you use the negative dropper, the color selected with this dropper will be deleted from the list of the selected colors. With Fusion-S, you can measure the spread and extent of the selection area can be determined, and at last by selecting image option, the selected area will display in preview box. The selected area can be saved by the save keys, and by load, you can recall previously selected colors that have been saved. One of the popular and the most basic tool in Photoshop design software is the Move tool, which will explain its applications as follows. The shortcut key for the Move tool is the letter V. For a better understanding, open a photo in Photoshop. Now with the tool, move the image to different sides, or you can select an area, then move it by the Move tool to another position as shown below. When moving a part of the image, the background color will take the place of the transferred area. If you hold down the Alt key while moving, the selected area will be copied to another place. If another layer is active and you select an area that is not on that layer, the following message will appear during transfer or copy. Now it's time to practice what you have learned so far. In the following, we have arranged practical projects for you to practice more. It should be noted that these exercises are designed for beginners levels. And gradually, and by the time, we will accompany you to increase your level.